Hello, once again, this is NBMooselover, and just going to do a little segment here, video on moose habitat. And here we have, this is a mature hardwood stand, and kind of typical. We've got some, fairly, old hardwoods here, and this area here has been strip cut. So by that we mean that they come in and harvest strips down through the old growth. And here's one here. There's one there I just come from, and you'll see this is a strip. It's basically been cut down through, and it will grow back up in hardwoods and berry bushes. And one thing you have to realize is that old growth hardwoods, mature hardwood forest, there's only so much food for moose, and the big trees are no value to the moose for food, because they're of course they need stuff they can reach. And so there are a lot of smaller trees that grow in amongst the heavier woods. Now here it's fairly thick, and a lot of areas it's not quite as thick as this, and this is because of the strip cuts. And you've got here you got some really big maples, and you've got birch, beech, and you'll get a lot of these little maples and little beech growing right in around in between these bigger trees, and the moose will feed on them. And that's one of their staple winter foods are these buds that come out once the leaves fall. They'll feed on the leaves all summer, and then these buds here will bud out in the fall, and they snip them off like so. And for those that don't know, moose don't have any top incisors, so they just have bottom incisors and a tough plate on the roof of their mouth, so that they can actually press the incisor against the roof of their mouth and snip these off. They have really tough tongues, and their noses are really good at manipulating these, and they can actually wrap their lips right around these. So this hardwood stand, like I said, you got a heavy hardwood stand here, and a lot of these little sucker bushes, growing up in it. I call them sucker bushes. They're basically little beech, and they'll eat the buds off these. But the thing that a strip cut does is it actually opens up this area and lets the light into these areas, so they can harvest a strip and leave a strip. It leaves more cover, and not so windswept. You don't get deep snow. Clear cuts, big clear cuts will make it really difficult for moose to travel across wide open areas. You get drifting and exhaust them going from one stand of wood to another. So strip cuts make so much more sense, because you've got your old growth heavy stand, and then these strips that will grow up in so you can take some of the wood and then leave it, and then they'll probably come back later and take these heavy trees, and hopefully a lot of this other will grow up. And it all comes down to just the light getting in here, and the light will actually get into the heavy woods as well better, and which actually lets a lot more of this growth happen. And so the moose, they need a lot of this feed, and it is just a lot better system than just clear cutting an area. And you clear cut an area, and then you plant spruce and fir, which are the two main lumber species, and they have no food value for moose whatsoever. So we're talking and then they basically will lumber companies will spray the cuttings after they planted those seedlings. So they'll cut a stand of wood, cut everything. Softwood, mainly they're cutting softwood, and they'll cut hardwood too, and like just cut the whole clear cut, and then basically come back and plant it, and then they'll spray it with herbicides and even pesticides, different things, to control those, the herbicides to control the growth of hardwoods, and the pesticides, of course, for the actual softwood trees they've planted. And so it doesn't really benefit moose, and this is the type of thing that benefits moose. And this is show you another stand here after a bit that basically is just more of a typical hardwood stand with not quite as much undergrowth as this. And this, like I said, this strip cut really adds a lot and lets a lot of light in, so you get a lot of growth, and the moose can feed on these leaves and these berry bushes all summer, and on the buds in the winter. And yeah, go ahead. So there's a strip there, and you can't really see the heavy woods in between because we got a lot of bushes on the edge of this road. But another one there, and they just they grow up. There's one, and they really grow up really thick in hardwood, and provide a lot of food for the moose. Here's one here. Just stop here. You can see there's one there that over time it'll grow up, and these let a lot of light into the heavy woods on either side. So it's a way to harvest some wood and then still make this viable for moose, because clear cuts don't do any animals any good. Their softwood species has no real value to an animal except maybe squirrels or cones. And the heavy trees, they provide all kinds of seeds and nuts, butternuts, different things. And partridge bud off of the yellow birches and the white birches, but moose, they need there's another strip cut. Moose need these hardwoods and willows and maples, and then later on they need the buds from the beeches, and otherwise they can get through the winter, and these strip cuts really help these moose thrive, and they can really survive the winters, unlike the deer. They have that much harder time.